myth about steroids you wish people would stop believing.
And I already have some pretty big balls that it is. You want to see? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Booger Sugar and Whiskey.
Whiskey.
We ain't got no whiskey today, though. It's Sunday in the state of Texas,
We
and
got-
the liquor store's closed. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, is it?
On Sundays
I forgot
in
about
Texas.
that. I forget that they close on Sundays, which is kind of weird because, people still drink on Sundays.
Specifically on Sundays. Sunday night football, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to buy your beers one day before.
Well, they sell beer. They sell beer everywhere.
Oh, then it don't matter. Oh,
But
Walmart,
I'm talking
Walmart
about
sells it.
I'm talking about liquor. That liquor.
You're trying to get busted up on Sunday Night Football?
Bro, I just want a little something to warm, my stomach. You know what I mean? Get a little warm over here.
Warm the cockles?
You already know, brother. Shit.
What does that mean, cockles?
Cockles? I don't know what a cockle means. I don't know.
Well,
You said it.
yeah. It's a thing people say, though, right?
Is it warm the cockles? Does it mean like warm your cock?
I feel like I don't think it is. I think white people say that more. I'm not sure. It is a cockle.
Should we Google that?
I don't know.
Whatever.
No. Okay.
Whatever.
So, what I want to do today was maybe bust your brain open a little bit because I want to know more about anabolic use. Anabolic what?
Anabolic steroids? That's what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Because what's anabolic? What does that mean, man? Do you know?
It means growth.
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 So growth steroids.
Growth,
Steroids means
anabolic is up, catabolic is down.
down. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to be catabolic.
That's
Catabolic
a
sounds bad. It even sounds bad. It sounds like destruction.
It has the word cat in it.
Nobody likes
It's awful.
cats.
Cats destroy. Look what happened in Egypt.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So, since I want to know about this and you know so much, you want to tell why you know so much?
I've dabbled.
You've dabbled in the arts?
I've dabbled in the trade. No, yeah, in the arts.
Okay.
Shit, yeah, for years. I mean, I've dabbled. Definitely dabbled. I've had my experiences, fair share of experiences, good and bad, really.
That's what we're trying to find out today, man. How good? We want to know how bad, and we want to know the worst. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
And the ugly. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So to get started, I just wanted to know, what's the first thing you ever took? The first compound? What was it?
It wasn't just one. It was a stack. So, it was testosterone and anthate.
Testosterone and enanthate.
Enanthate. It's a long ester, which we're not gonna get into all that right now. Testosterone. It was D-ball, which is an oral, and it was Deca. Testosterone, Deca, D-ball. It was
So all this was oral.
No. Injectables. The two were injectables. The testosterone and the Deca were injectables, and the D-ball was an oral.
D-ball sounds like
It's Dianabol. That's what it's.
Dianabol.
Dianabol. Mm-hmm. So I used to. So I had this jug that I would write on,
Okay.
and I'd put steroids on it. Right? It was just water. It was just fucking water. But I know I was taking shit behind. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, and I would put.
You're on
D-ball.
steroids? Yeah, I'm on steroids.
I'm on steroids. Look, this is my steroids. It was just a water jug, and I would just write on it with the permanent marker. But this was actually prior. I would actually do that prior to whenever I would take it. Whenever I did start taking it, and then eventually, whenever I did start taking it, it felt like I was just putting myself out there. Like, hey, this guy really does take steroids. You know what I mean? Because before it was a joke.
Did you tell people the truth?
Yeah, no. I mean, I've always been transparent about it. I've never really said, nah, I'm natty. Nah, if I wasn't natty, you know what I mean? Like I was natty up until I was 18.
It's because it's hard to tell. I mean, you got a lot of YouTubers, you know, they're all strong. Yeah, they're fitness oriented. You just never know. You don't know what they are, man. I mean, some you could tell. Some you could tell. Some are just like built.
The fake natties.
Yeah,
The
you
fake
could
natties.
just tell
That's-
they're on
yeah.
something, even though they say no, I'm not on nothing. Yeah, you could tell.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So, how'd you learn about all this, man? Like, what brought you to this?
Okay. So I dabbled in SARMs first.
What age were you?
I was 18.
18.
So I dabbled in
18
SARMs when I was like 17, 18, because I was barely lifting at like 15. I started lifting when I was 15, and then eventually it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, let's try taking some supplements, right?
Right.
So I started taking SARMs, which I didn't think they were hormonal. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with it to me, right?
But they are, right?
No.
No, so you're right.
So
Okay.
I didn't think it would take effect as much as it did. Because it helped me improve a lot. So I was taking SARMs, and then by the time I got to the nutrition shop that I was working at, then they put me onto pro hormones, which are literally the step away from injectables.
Are you saying a nutrition shop put you on this?
Yeah. So the I guess the whole idea, the whole concept is the bigger you look, you fit the part, then you can sell the part. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the bigger you got, the more sales you were able to get, the more fit you looked. It was a lot easier to sell the stuff if you looked the part.
Oh, so you were working there.
I was working
you
there,
were
yeah,
working
at
there,
the
and they were
nutrition shop.
at the nutrition shop.
Yeah.
And at the nutrition shop, they were like, "Hey, man, like
It's time to put some size on you.
You want to step up?"
Let's step you up. Yeah, exactly.
And they stepped you up.
Yeah.
This is crazy to me, man. At a nutrition shop, they were like, which is a legal shop. Like, they're everywhere. A legal shop.
Legal.
Yeah,
Yes,
they are legal.
It was everything that they had behind the counters was approved by the FDA.
This is where you sell your proteins,
Pre-workout, vitamins.
What's that called that people need to drink more of but don't? The monohydrate creatine. Yes.
Creatine? Yeah, creatine's great.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's really no side effect that people know of, right?
No, I mean, a lot of people think that there's all these side effects that you shouldn't take it. It's going to cause bloating and this and that.
Nah, it's pretty healthy.
It's pretty healthy.
I've been hearing that stuff, like, it helps with your brain waves, and
it's a nootropic.
So you can think better even when you're sleepy and stuff like that. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And they made you take these?
They didn't make me. It was
you already doing them.
Yeah, because I was on SARMs, right?
Right.
And to me, SARMs weren't bad. I didn't know, because it's a selective androgen receptor modulator, right? So
No,
it's
I don't know.
Okay, so it's turning those receptors that you have, and it's making it think that you're putting all this testosterone in your body, but you're not. It's it's tricking it, right? So then I was at the nutrition shop, and they're like, hey, let's get you on this stack. Let's put you on these stacks. And we got them, dude, dirt cheap. Cheap. I would get protein, creatine, pre-workout, the works, the whole stacks. Dog, we would get them dirt cheap. I mean, at cost.
Well, they do that because, I mean, since you're going to be working there, you need to sell.
Employee discount.
Oh, yeah,
Bro,
pretty much, man. Like, you need to get big. So they make you get big, and then you can sell.
Okay, so then it got to the point where my manager was like, look, dude, we need to step up your game a little bit. Talking about the supplements that I was taking, because I'd finished like 3 stacks. So he was like, now it's time to take it to the pros. It's time to step up that game.
What does the stack look like?
What? From the shop?
So when you say stack,
so they have like, I would say maybe like 10 different pro hormones, probably more, that you can take. And it's legal. You can take them. You buy them from. Think of it as microdosed testosterone, microdosed steroids.
Oh, so we're talking about all legal stuff.
And then whenever my manager talked to me, he was like, "Hey, let's step up your game. Let's put you on some real shit. Y'all really want to put some size on? I got you. Let me show you.
That's when you got into the legal shit.
That's when I started getting into the hardcore shit.
Wait, I didn't know there was legal steroids that you could take for fitness. I thought it was all
They're-
just body enhancing.
They're pro
stuff, you know?
hormones. You can't call them steroids. They're pro hormones.
Pro hormones.
Pro
They're
hormones.
not steroids.
Yeah, not steroids.
So they don't work exactly the same.
They're just derivatives of
The real stuff.
the real stuff.
The good stuff.
Like for instance, Tren. You ever heard of Tren? If you've ever heard of Tren, you would know it's one of the most potent steroids. And they have one, and it's basically that 19-nor, that compound. I know we're going into science right now, right?
That's
But
okay, man.
that
Other
19
people
nor-
is gonna know what you mean.
that 19-nor, they kind of minimize it. They like I said, microdose it so that way it's passable through the FDA and everything.
It's a fraction.
It's a fraction of it.
what-
Yeah. And I mean, people have gotten great results from what they have there.
Oh, really?
I've seen people get great results. For me, I was getting decent results, but it wasn't until I got on the real shit. Till it was like I was blasting, bro. I was blasting.
You would think that it's not legal to even have 0.01% in there.
See, I don't know the gray area. I don't know the rules behind it or what, but it's definitely a gray area because there was some shit that they had to take off the wall. I remember back whenever I first started, they did have pro hormones and they had to ban a lot of them because a lot of people were ending up in the hospital because of liver failure. But they were the ones that fucking worked.
Yeah. Wasn't there a pre-workout that was called Jacked?
3D,
Jack
3D, and it had DMAA, which is 1,3-dimethylene. It's basically crack.
It had crack in it.
It's basically crack. It's methamphetamine.
Hey, people got addicted to that.
It's
though,
a methamphetamine.
That's
That shit.
crazy, man. To be able to take that from a shop, just buy it straight out.
So that DMAA is a nootropic, and it reacts in your brain so fucking weird, bro. I remember whenever I had first taken DMAA, I'm pretty sure we had some pre-workout that had the DMAA. It was just a different word that they used. And
I always got to change up that word, man. Like
Got
words mean so much.
Yeah.
So
and so
it's not called weed.
it's THCA or CBD.
Yeah, man. CBD. Give it
Yeah.
a whole different lettering, man.
So I remember the first time I took it, I actually ended up PRing on my deadlift. I PR'd on my deadlift, but I remember the afterward, the after effect. I felt so freaking lethargic. I felt like I drained everything in my body. Like it was just like the worst. Like I was so tired.
So you had no energy to do anything. You're
Afterwards.
You got to go to sleep.
After I worked out, yeah. But it was one of those things that I couldn't take it in the morning because then what?
All day you'd be sluggish,
I'd be fucking lethargic.
right?
Yep. Excuse my French. I kind of want to start watching out for the.
Nah, it don't matter.
Nah, I don't. No,
You can say whatever you want, man.
That's funny though because I found out that my mom's watching these podcasts now, and I don't typically cuss around my parents. I really don't like to.
Right.
But she told me today. She was like, "Yeah, mijo, I didn't know you had that kind of vocabulary." And she goes, "But I'm not talking about your cussing either. Like I didn't
She
know."
didn't care about
She
that.
didn't even care. Yeah, she was just like, "I didn't know you were talking."
She was like, I didn't know you were that smart. To be honest, mijo.
Bro, for real. That's pretty much what she meant, bro. I was just like, all right, that's cool. Thanks.
Mothers.
Yeah, mothers. Anyways, where were we?
So when you started, what was the specific moment or your goal that you decided, hey, let's get on this.
There was two goals.
Okay.
One, I wanted to compete.
Compete. So you want to do some.
I wanted to do a show, bodybuilding show.
What are they called, Mr. Olympia?
There's different shows, but
Oh
it
yeah,
was just,
but that's the big show,
the big
right?
one is Mr. Olympia.
Mr. It has to be because that's when Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that started. Like, he was like,
there's the Arnold show too. So he has his own show, and then there's the Mr. Olympia show.
yeah, but it's not the same thing. Like, it is the Arnold show, and that's badass. But the one that he was competing in
Was the Mr. Olympia
was the Mr. Olympia, right?
and the Mr. Universe.
Universe. Which one's bigger?
I want to say Olympia.
Olympia?
I think so.
Did you see yourself like maybe you?
I wanted to. I wanted to get huge, bro. I wanted to just like put on all this mass. I remember because I was working out, eating, like it was just clockwork. And
Working out and eating, that's it.
working out, eating, working at the nutrition shop, taking what I had to do, like doing everything that I had to do, taking all the steroids. Well, obviously, steroids aren't going to do it. You're right. Steroids
Not alone. Not alone. Not alone.
Exactly.
You got to work
You got
out,
to
right?
put in the work to be able to get the result,
But
right?
it kind of makes you want to work out, doesn't it? Does it not?
So on my
Again,
first cycle,
I don't know.
So on my first cycle, I kind of had like a weird, like I didn't have to work out as much. So look, I worked out. I was supposed to be working out 5 to 6 days a week, maybe one of them being an active rest day, meaning do something, a little bit of cardio or work on something that's a smaller muscle group, right?
Right.
Forearms, calves, shoulders, whatever, something small. But I ended up only working out like 3 or 4 days a week and eating like shit. Bro,
Well,
I make
you 3 or 4 days a week. So the thing that people usually do is work maybe 3 or 4 days a week. When you're on that, you need to work out more than that.
I mean, okay, so what it's doing to your body is making you speed up the recovery process. So yeah, you need to optimize your workouts.
Right.
You really need to work out and feed your body.
Because what it does is not make you grow.
It speeds up the recovery.
It speeds up the recovery so you can grow.
Yes.
But it also makes you grow, though, right?
It also makes you grow,
It
yes.
also makes you
Yes,
grow.
of course.
Yeah, we can't forget about that, man.
So-
That's a big thing.
So I was eating like shit. I remember this one day I ordered McDonald's and it was 4 cheeseburgers, 4 chicken sandwiches, and 20 nuggets and like 3 fries. And I ate it
Damn.
all. And I remember I had the filthiest pump that day. I had the
Yeah.
filthiest pump, bro. I swear.
But you need all that energy, though, right?
Look, but the thing is, you're not even supposed to be eating that like that because of all the fats and all the extra carbs. And so, look. So what happened is I ended up
Right.
blowing up. Like my face started like puffing up and shit.
Bloating. You started bloating
like
your
crazy.
face.
So it was like I said, when I first started, it was those 3 compounds, right? So the Dianabol, the D-ball,
Right.
is what really held the water in, but the pumps were amazing, bro. The pumps were amazing.
So if you were to get off the
Oh,
ball,
I felt flat. I felt so flat when I came off.
you felt it, but can you think other people would see that? Hey, you kind of
No, they
flat there, or
definitely,
what?
definitely,
You
yeah.
can see it.
Oh, dude, I ended up gaining. Right, this was water weight, but I did my InBody at that store. You remember the InBody where you would
Yeah, I
scan your
remember.
muscle?
Hey, that's a badass machine.
I ended up gaining 10 pounds of muscle that week.
Embody. What does it tell you? It tells you your fat, your muscle mass,
skeletal
and
mass.
skeletal mass.
Basically,
Yeah, those 3 things, right?
Yeah, but your limb and honestly, I don't know what the way it works, but it's a pretty badass machine. Yeah,
It tells you. Yeah, it tells you for each limb too, like
Right.
what you need to work out.
water weight too.
Water-
So
okay,
that's what I'm
water weight.
saying. It said I gained 10 pounds of muscle that week, and I know it was water. I know it was water weight, but damn, bro, I slimmed
still
down.
feels good.
I slimmed down from my waist,
Uh-huh.
and I ended up. I could tell I was looking fuller and I was feeling fuller, bro.
I
And I
mean-
was getting stronger too,
I'm getting me pumped for this shit.
bro. It's a different demon, that one.
You said there was 2 goals.
Oh, so the second goal
What's the second goal?
was to make more cells. And damn, did I make more cells. Damn, did I make more fucking
I
cells.
can see that. I can see that, man.
Ooh.
Dude, if some big old atrocious dude comes up to me and says, "Hey, this works," because I take it, I'm gonna be thinking, he knows what he's talking about.
I'm pretty sure I was number 1 for sales in the company.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you the only one taking them, or what?
No, of course not. But that I think it was for that month that I was number 1 for sales, because the other dudes that were also working and doing shit,
Right.
they were jacked, bro. Some other dudes that we had were jacked. There was this lady out in El Paso at the other nutrition shop, and she made me look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Swear.
Hey, but women can sell better, man. I ain't gonna lie.
and
they're
of
better
course,
salesmen.
Right. Just being a little bit more right with dudes. She
I'd
can-
rather go talk to a female than talk to you
about nutrition.
No.
About nutrition.
Yeah.
But if she looked like that, if she looked jacked like that, of course
You
you
would
want-
still think-
you would be like, okay,
but you
cool.
would think she'd be more helpful to a woman still, because like you gotta
But
they
you
gotta
gotta
take
realize-
different supplements, right?
But
From
but
men.
you got to realize the women are going to be more like scared of them, scared to talk. They're going to be a little bit less like likely to open up to
Right,
them.
yeah, because they're so big.
They're so big, exactly. They're going to be what's that called?
Timid or what?
Timid,
Shy-
intimidated. Yeah.
Timid, intimidated. Yeah.
So I think that's another thing too. But yeah, I definitely, my sales like shot up like crazy. But when I came off
So
of
started going
everything,
down.
of everything, bro, I felt like I gained the weight back like faster. But then again, I wasn't eating like I was supposed to, and I wasn't working out like I was supposed to, right?
Right. And how are you supposed to eat? What do you eat?
You should
You
at
can't-
least
you
eat
can't
clean.
You can eat chicken and rice every day.
I
That's
did. Whenever
no, you
I
did
got
it.
back on, and then before I even started steroids, like before I was on chicken and rice every day. Like I was so motivated to do a show.
But you can't. Okay, so to do a show, it usually takes what about 5 months of your time to get ready up to the show.
It depends on the person.
6, something like that.
I had a lot of fat to lose.
Right.
I had a lot of
so
fat, and I had a lot of muscle to build.
So when you're doing that, like I get that you eat chicken and rice religiously, but then after you get off, or when you're not even doing these things, why are you going to be eating that? Like, I've seen people
Just to
with
keep it
eating
clean.
chicken and rice, and it doesn't even have salt on it. It's like that's crazy,
That-
man.
Well, that's for the show. That's for the show
Right,
aspect.
okay.
Right? Because that
Because salt will do something to you,
the sodium is going to hold
Right.
the water.
so it's going to make you look
You got to dry
bloated.
out. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna-
And you want to dry out.
So you can see more muscle, more
They-
striations and stuff like that, right?
before shows, they stop drinking water.
Right.
People stop
you
drinking
wanna
water.
dehydrate.
You want to.
so
You
you
want
can
to
see
look.
that.
You want to look cut. You want to look chiseled.
Right. But that's so dangerous at the same time, isn't
It's
it?
dangerous, especially if you're on diuretics.
Diuretics.
Shit to flush out the water.
So to
dry
pee
you
a lot.
out.
To pee a lot, right?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna pee a lot, but it's gonna really dry you out.
So you're just losing everything that's trying to sustain you, but it's not for a long term, right?
It's not long term. You shouldn't do it long term,
but it's still dangerous.
it's still dangerous. Yeah.
And I've seen these guys on shows like Mr. Olympia and stuff like that, and they look cut as a motherfucker
Chisel.
and huge.
Chisel.
But you would think doing something like that to your body, which is what? How much percent fat is that?
They're sitting at 2-3%.
2, 3.
That's
I think
low, bro.
normal is what? Well, now it's like 20, but 12.
It
You
should
would
be
say
12 to 15.
12. Yeah.
For a man. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, that ain't the case anymore these days, man.
It's
I know
really
I
not.
ain't.
It's
no,
really not.
I know I ain't no 12.
Shit, I know I ain't no fucking 12, dog.
I'm over here sitting at 20.
I'm
23.
probably sitting about 35, 40 right now.
Man, if you were to start cutting down, start eating healthy, man, you're still a big guy, man. You
Bro,
look pretty big.
I mean, I still work out, bro. Like, it's just I don't have the same goals that I used to.
yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just
You changed. You started thinking different.
I just want to be able to look good, feel good, not cut up so much that you know what I mean? I just got different
Right.
goals in mind now, and I just
So you're no longer trying to do the whole shows and stuff like that, or maybe.
it would be a possibility if I were able to cut down enough. Like I would think about it eventually if I were to cut down enough, right?
Right.
But as of right now, no, bro. I'm chilling. I'm cruising. I'm on my shit. I'm just trying to get back into fitness again, bro.
Fitness, right? Because you stopped for a bit.
I stopped for about a year because of my old job, and I had no time, bro.
Where you had no time. Yeah,
I had no time, and you know what
jobs
that's
will do
like.
that to you.
You know what that's like, bro.
You have no time to do anything. Yeah, not something I would wish to do long term.
No,
to be honest.
no. I mean, the money was great. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't worth the mentality, the mental it took on me, and the physical.
And it's not about I mean, it is about the work-life balance, but when it's definitely positively all work, getting home, and then going to sleep, or taking a shower, eating, going to sleep, then waking up again, it could be very draining, especially if you're working 7 days a week.
Dude, it was an on-call service. I didn't even get to sleep sometimes.
That's even worse.
It was way worse because it was more of like.
By the way, people do what I said. People do what I said. The on-call it's different because they can call you at any time, and you have to go.
You have to. You have to. It was literally. I would spend like maybe 36 hours straight on a location, and then get home, sleep for 8 hours, if even that. Even that, because I still got a shit shower, sleep, eat, right?
You're a human.
I'm a human.
That's what you got to do.
So sometimes they would call me back out, like it's 2 hours when I would get home.
Yeah,
and we were at that time. I remember we were so short staffed because they were just swapping us around, going from like gas monitoring to a confined space to like rigging up, rigging down. And it was, dude, I remember like it was one of the worst times just to be doing all that.
I think you've told me this was even 36 hours on site or something like that, where you just had to sleep in your truck or something.
Bro, and then it was weird because we had to take turns. We had to make sure, like, okay, you're going to go to sleep, and then I'm going to stay awake, and I'm going to be watching.
Right.
Then I'm going to go to sleep, then you're going to watch.
1 hour rest, and then, hey, it's your turn.
Or
I got to get some sleep.
I would be so paranoid that the company man would come up and knock on the window and say, why are you sleeping when you should be out here doing your rounds, sniffing, looking for gas and stuff? I wouldn't even sleep sometimes. Maybe I would get like 30, 45 minutes, but that was it. Because I was so paranoid where I was just one of those things. I was not trying to get ran off of a location.
Right. No,
once you get ran up,
you ain't coming back.
You ain't coming back.
So you were doing this, so it didn't give you time to work out.
I was not able to work out.
And this happened for about a year.
About a year.
And then after that, now you're trying to get back on it, try to work out more, try to take your supplements.
Well, I'm not on anything. I haven't been on anything, and I don't really plan on getting on anything.
Wow. Okay, so my next question was, what kind of steroids are you taking right now?
The only thing that I'm on is testosterone prescribed by the doctor.
You went to a doctor? And
the dosages are prescribed by a doctor.
TRT.
That's it. Because I did so many steroids back in the day when I was so young that I literally crashed my hormones.
So this is testosterone replacement therapy, right?
Yes.
This is a bit weaker than normal steroids?
It's just it's just testosterone, like the testosterone that you have in your body and everything like that. Like
but testosterone is the thing that people want though in their body, because that's the thing. Like that's the whole point of anabolic steroids. Like it has testosterone, right? Isn't it?
Okay.
Am I tripping?
Hear me out. Yes, it is a steroid once you go past a certain amount. So let's say, okay, for instance, right now, my doctor. I don't even want to disclose how much, because I don't want to give it like a bad name if kids are watching this or something like that.
Right.
I don't want kids touching this shit. My thing is the what the doctor prescribed me and what I was doing before are two huge different dosages.
Because yours was way more before, right? Way more. So with what you're taking right now, are you feeling better? Is it working?
Oh, dude, like my sex drive is great. My energy is great. Like it's just making the drive to do things better. Like whenever I had low testosterone, I got my blood work checked, bro. I literally had the testosterone of a female. because I was not on anything.
So
I crashed all of my hormones.
That's very little testosterone, if I'm not mistaken.
I had a vagina, bro. I basically had a vagina.
Were you crying all the time?
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
look
Yeah, I was, dude. I remember thinking about Up.
Coco.
Remember Up, the movie? I started crying just thinking about it.
Just thinking about
Just
it got you crying, got you tearing up.
Yeah, then or if I would listen to a song, or I'd see a clip on YouTube or TikTok, I'd start crying. I wouldn't cry, but I would tear up, and it was weird.
Dogs like needing homes and stuff over there. You're over there crying.
Oh,
and shit.
bro,
Yeah.
that shit would tear me up.
Yeah,
yeah, for real. That shit was weird. I was like, I would get like the knot in the throat. You know what I mean? Whenever you're about to cry.
That's how you were.
Like,
oh man, I will pay to see that, man. You need to get off that stuff so I can see that.
Nah, bro, fuck.
But now you're at a normal level, right? You're at a normal level.
Yeah,
right now,
no,
right?
this is basically what like a normal man should be at. What I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Right.
I don't plan on going any higher. This is just something to maintain normal hormone levels.
Well, that's good. You're working like a normal human.
Yeah.
So it's not too far. You're not. Wait. So you're taking TRT. What would happen if you decided to, start taking more than usual without your
to blast and everything?
Right. What do you think? Well, because you don't know, right? Because you've been taking TRT, and then you're gonna try to blast.
I've done blast and cruise before.
Right.
I've done to where I was just doing a doctor's recommended dosage, and to where I was like, you know what, it's time to blast again. Each time I've blasted, I've definitely isolated myself.
But by the way, the next question was, do you cycle or blast and cruise? It sounds like you kind of have done both.
Right now, I guess I would just say I'm cruising.
You're cruising, right?
TRT. So
when you did it back then,
it was just blasting and cruising.
Blasting
I would
and cruising?
blast, then I would cruise.
So can you explain what blasting and cruising means as opposed to cycling?
Okay, so blasting and cruising. Blasting, obviously, you're gonna blast as much, whatever dosage you want to be taking or whatever.
You're just going all in
balls
at
to
the same
wall,
time.
horse cocking it.
Right.
Exactly. And then cruising, you're just on those lower dosages. If anything, just testosterone, just to get your hormones back into play, or back to where you're not an animal.
So blast and cruise pretty much means you top load pretty much at the beginning.
There you go.
And then you take smaller amounts just to stay on that wave.
No.
Or you don't take anything.
No. Blasting is blasting through your whole cycle.
Well, it's blast and cruise, no? Right? So you blast and then
blast,
you cruise it.
Blasting is going to be your cycle. Then you're going to cruise afterward, which is just the little shit, which is like just your testosterone. That's what your cruise, because you're cruising on it.
So how long do you have to? Oh, so you're not taking anything then?
No, like I said, I'm just on testosterone. That's just the TRT. So technically, it would be cruising.
But if you didn't have to take your TRT, you just not take anything.
No, I would be on something. My hormones are so fucked from back in the day.
Oh,
taking all that.
I meant if your hormones weren't messed up all over the place.
If they weren't,
if they were just normal.
Oh, then yeah, I would.
You'd blast and then you wouldn't take anything. Say I
so
did
that would be
I
a
would
cycle.
blast.
That would
and
be
then
cycling.
Wouldn't take anything.
That'd be cycling.
Oh, that's cycling.
Yeah, you would come off cycle, and
wait.
So you would PCT.
In a year, how many times do you cycle?
So typically they're about 3 to 4 months, depending on the compounds. Some compounds are longer ester than others.
So 2 to 3 times a year you'd be doing this, cycling.
Pretty much.
So when you blast and cruise, how are you taking it in a year?
I would do about 12 to 18 weeks, depending on the compound.
Because it's a lot more.
There was one compound that I loved. It was called EQ. That was my favorite.
When you say love.
Because, bro, it was a long-term gainer. Like it was something that actually gave you permanent gains. It wasn't something like Tren or I guess Deca, Dianabol, Anadrol. It wasn't like any of those where they give you all that water weight and shit. And
Right.
or like Tren, yeah, it gives you these badass gains, but you deflate if you're not
Taking them.
like no, not even that. Like the thing with Tren is it's so freaking anabolic, bro. Like you literally, you're a different animal. Tren is the most like it's the most like horrendous compound you could take because of what it does to your body negatively and positively, and then it has negative impacts on your mind, on your psychological.
It makes you think bad thoughts.
Bro,
Does it make you
that
think
one,
bad thoughts?
That one, Tren and D-ball were probably my two worst that I've had bad experiences on.
Is it more like a delusional thing? Like you're coming up with things that aren't happening?
Yes,
Is it?
absolutely. And then you become an asshole. Some people deal with it different. Some
Right.
people can deal with it.
So they're not assholes.
It amplifies your personality. That's one thing I will say.
So if you're an asshole, you're a bigger asshole.
You're a bigger ass. You're a gaping asshole for sure.
All right, but what about if you're just a chill dude? Like,
Then you're just even more chill, dude.
no, you're not.
You're-
You're not.
You're a little bit more intense.
It's testosterone.
But if you're-
it's got to get you more.
But if you're
intense,
chill,
yeah.
then you're chill.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're a chill guy, then you're a chill guy. If you don't get mad at shit, chances are it's gonna go great for you.
Really?
But everybody gets mad, bro.
Yeah. At some point, you gotta,
Yeah.
Have you done any post-cycle therapy? What was that like if you did?
My first cycle, I did post cycle therapy. That's what PCT is. I told you earlier.
Right.
I don't know if you heard me, but it was a PCT.
Yeah, okay.
And
I'm not going to get all the acronyms because
post cycle therapy is PCT.
it sounds like you started this. Like you've got it in you. You've looked through everything. And
I had to
I'm
do my
just-
homework.
Yeah.
I had to do my homework because
Right.
knowing what you're putting into your body is way more important than the results you're gonna get.
Well, knowledge is power, man. You know what you're gonna do because you know it. You know you've studied it.
And yeah, so PCT was my first cycle.
Right.
I didn't like what it did. It really because I didn't feel what I felt.
So what is PCT actually like?
Post cycle therapy.
But what is it?
It's so it's something to regulate your hormones naturally, right? But unnaturally. Does that make sense?
Post, not pre. So this is after. So you take the hormone. You take the hormones.
It's to help boost your natural testosterone. It's to help bring your balls back, and it's to help
Okay.
it's to help regulate your hormones again.
And does it do anything with hair too? Does it stop it from falling?
I
or
mean,
something?
honestly, whenever I first started taking everything, I didn't notice hair loss up until like I was like 21, 22. And it wasn't even that much. It was just like now that I'm like growing and on the ones that have a lot of DHT derivatives,
Right.
then yeah, that's where I noticed where my hair started falling out.
Okay. So this post-cycle therapy was just something that didn't make you feel good?
It just regulates your hormones, and because
But it wasn't good at it.
So think about whenever you're like, you got like a really good buzz going on, right? You're good, but then
You drink water.
no. Well, I don't know how you feel when you drink water. I start sobering up, but
I
like,
do too. So
think about whenever you get to that limit where it's like, okay, well, you stop drinking, but you don't drink water. What happens? You start to get sleepy,
sleepy, dehydrated.
You're just like lethargic. You're ready to go to sleep.
Okay, so it intensifies the bad things?
No. It just is okay. So whenever you have a lot of it, of that testosterone, you're very euphoric. You're very like you're on top of the world. But then whenever you're depleted of that, it's gone. Your testosterone's gone, right? So you
Right.
got to bring it back up.
Of course, yeah.
But on that post psychotherapy, I didn't think it was enough. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was enough to bring me up to where I needed to be.
So the best thing to do was just to blast again.
No, cruise.
Cruise. Okay, you're
Get back-
cruising.
yeah, go
So
down.
more than normal. more than post psychotherapy,
More than PCT.
but not as much as blasting.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
So for me, it didn't work. I felt like shit. I just didn't like it. It was like, I just couldn't do it. So, I just hopped off of everything, and I was just, my testosterone just
went right into the pooper, man.
yeah. Well, I did finish the PCT. I finished the PCT, but it still, like, went. It was weird. It was weird. Yep.
So, man, how did the steroids change your workouts physically and mentally?
Oh man, that's a good one. I noticed I was a lot more aggressive in the gym. I wanted to push more weight. I
It kind of gives you an ego, doesn't it?
It gives you that ego, and it gives you that edge. Like, you're just like, I can get this next set. I know I could get this next set. Throw on another plate.
Do you ever think about other people watching you
All the
while
time.
you're doing it?
All
Yeah.
the time. Oh,
It's like that.
It's bad. But it's not
You're
just
like, fuck these motherfuckers. I'm gonna do more than them.
yeah.
Shit
Like, all right, you know what? It's like you said, it's the ego. It gives you the ego.
right. Yeah.
So that one plate turns into 2 plates, and those 2 reps turn into 10 reps.
So I know you can do more, but you still think about ego lifting. So do you think you ego lifted where, like, even though you were on it, it was still too much and you were still doing it
Yeah,
all the time?
yeah. It was just, I would do it. Like, for instance, there's one time I actually pulled my back, a back muscle. I think I pinched a back muscle more than anything, doing rack pulls with like 5 plates on each side, and like I remember just slamming them. I was slamming them, boom, 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 and on that last one, I felt weird. I was like, oh fuck, okay,
Something happened.
something happened in my back. I was like, oh fuck. And I
It's not
felt
like
it.
you felt the pain, or did you?
Not right then and there. It was just like more of like, it felt weird. It just
weird,
felt
like, not
like
uncomfortable. It was
it
more
just-
like
I
something
knew
moved.
Something moved. Yeah.
Something
So, like,
moved. I don't know what it was, but did you know?
Damn.
Did you know at that point?
At
Like,
that time, no. But I was like, I started rubbing my back on the rack. I was just rubbing my back, and I was like, okay, I'll be good. And I remember, I was like, fuck, you know what? It started hurting worse and worse and worse as time went
Right.
by. I had to rack everything. I went home. I was
the drive home, were you feeling something?
definitely,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah. I remember I had to go to a masseuse to try to get it like massaged out. Even then, it still kind of lingered.
Did it?
Yeah. But
do
yeah.
you feel that at this point, like, anymore?
Oh, dude. Yeah. Like, I
You
thought
still feel it?
I thought it was my bed. A lot of the time I thought it was just my bed, but I definitely know I fucked up my back, just lifting like that back in the day.
Kind of permanently.
Permanent.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Just because, like, man, I remember just slamming weights, just horse cocking it, man. It was like squats and deadlifts.
So it's something that you think you're gonna live with for the rest of life, because it's like a pulled muscle, right?
I think the more I do like stretches and stuff like that, then I think the easier it'll get, the better it'll get.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Have you ever done blood work while on cycle?
Yeah.
While on it?
Yeah. Okay. So
So what's the wait, before you say anything, what's the normal?
normal range would be 600 to like 800 or 900, right?
This is
Maybe
what-
1,000.
How do you read testosterone? Like, what is it? 600 to 800 what?
There's a word.
Testosterones.
Testosterone. Maybe
Units of testosterone.
deciliter or something, or I don't know. I don't
Okay,
remember.
but it's 600 to 800, right?
Okay, I would say I would average it from 600
To 1,000.
to 1,000.
Okay.
That's where I think is like good range, right?
If you're below that, you're gonna need TRT most likely.
They don't give you TRT unless it's under 300.
Oh wow! So you could be at 500,
They'll say, "Oh, you're good."
Wouldn't that incentivize people to, if they're at like 400 or 500, to just do do
Some
to get
underground
there,
shit,
to
right?
get there?
Yeah, for sure. They can crash the. Never mind. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, probably not. And we don't want to crash anything.
So, so the first time I did blood work while I was on cycle was a couple of weeks after I was already on D-ball, DECA, and testosterone. And my testosterone levels were over 3,000.
Over 3,000.
3,000. Yeah. Swear.
That has to be. I mean, you're doing 3 times what everybody else is supposed to have normally, right?
Bro, when I tell you I felt like a monster, that shit made me a different person.
When you got the results, was the doctor in there?
He goes, whatever you're doing, you got to stop. You better stop.
Really?
He goes, you cannot be this high.
I imagining you I am imagining you in there, so proud that you did
3,000? Hell yeah!
3,000. That's it. Imagine being mad. That's it.
Just 3,000? That's crazy. They should
Dealer.
be over
Fucking
9,000.
dealer, man. I'm gonna get on his ass. Over 9,000.
Over 9,000. Yeah, no, that was.
So he told you to stop.
But though that first cycle, bro, negative side effects so bad. I remember I would overthink so much, bro. It was just like I literally had to stop my workout one time and go home because of how much I was overthinking.
Damn. So after he told you to stop, what was your reaction?
Oh, okay.
That's it. You weren't gonna.
Why would I tell that to a doctor?
So what would happen? You didn't ask him like, hey, like what would happen,
No.
like if I didn't, or
I
any of
didn't.
that?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't ask nothing. It was just one of the things. Like, all right, cool. I finished my cycle though. Didn't tell him that.
Of course not.
No.
You're not gonna tell him that you're gonna do something else. But even if you did tell him, he'd probably tell you, hey, like I think it's a stupid idea, but you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're doctors, they're not police officers. You know.
Yeah, but a lot of what you do reflects on your insurance too. They can make your insurance go up or down.
Right. So you got to think about that stuff, huh? So then you stop after he told you that, or not really? You finish your cycle,
finished up, and that's when I PCT'd.
and now you're still crashing now. But what would happen if you would have kept going?
What do you mean?
He told you to stop.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's good for anybody to go that long. You should only. I don't think you should do steroids at all. But if you do, just do a cycle. Either blast and cruise. That's it.
Right.
Don't blast for a year or 2 years because your body's gonna eventually start rejecting it. Your body's gonna start getting, what is it?
It's like an autoimmune system where it starts fighting it off.
Well, not only that, your liver's gonna start shutting down.
So you're kind of destroying your body, kind of.
Yeah, because you're injecting.
It's like forced overgrowth, which leads to deterioration.
Think of
deterioration.
Think of Rich Piana, right?
Right.
That dude, he died of a heart attack.
Heart attack. Yep.
Because your heart's a muscle. If it grows that big, it's bound to, you know.
He just had a big heart, man. He was a
Literally
big, kind guy.
big old teddy bear. That guy. But yeah, that I know that dude was on a lot of shit for years.
Oh, of course. I think he.
But regardless, you
everybody-
shouldn't. You know, you should only. What is that saying? Anything out of is too much or something like that. Fuck.
I just know everything with moderation.
Moderation. That's what it is. Anything out of moderation is too much.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Something fell. What's the biggest difference you noticed when you started? The biggest difference, whether that be
The
like
pumps.
the pumps.
The pumps.
That's the first thing that showed up Like you just got more pumped, more jacked.
I felt fuller. The muscle bellies were showing more. The veins started popping more. My lifts, I noticed a lot more. Like I was able to do more reps.
Were you?
Yeah. What's that called?
Looking at yourself in the mirror more and shit like that?
All the time. All the time, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if I was passing by a reflection, I would at least flex my forearms or bust out a bicep flex.
I've seen you do that, man.
Have
I've
you
seen you
really?
do that all the time. Yeah. Yeah, when we were going to the
I
gym and stuff like
still,
that, man.
yeah, I still do it.
I'll see you do it. Pretty often, actually. Pretty often.
I do it pretty often.
Especially the forearm thing.
Yeah, I don't know. My forearms got small over the years.
They're still pretty huge, bro. Have you ever regretted starting? Why not?
Yeah, no. It's, I mean, I don't. Yes and no. Yes and no. I'll say yes and no. Yes, because I just wish I didn't have to rely on TRT for the rest of my life.
But you knew that going in, right?
Yeah, definitely. I knew that was the risk. I knew that was the risk I was going to take.
It's not only a risk. It was a certainty. You knew.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going into steroids, you're gonna know that at some point when you get off them, you're gonna need TRT. There's no not needing TRT,
Well,
isn't there?
There was PCT, right? I was getting sold the dream of just doing PCT and you'll be fine. Then
but nobody just wants to do PCT.
Nobody just wants to
right?
do PCT.
They want more. They want, yeah, of course.
And then of course you have to do your homework on everything, not just like what you're gonna do. No, you got to do your homework on what you're gonna do, and whatever else surrounds what you're doing. Does that make sense? Because everything you take, right, is gonna affect your body in some way negatively.
Okay.
So you still got to take the stuff to make sure it doesn't get to that point to where you're protecting your liver, your organs, stuff like that, right? Your blood pressure. Then you got to think about that stuff, right?
So it's not just, hey, take this, get more muscles. It's take this, get more muscles, but wait, we got to make sure everything else isn't working too hard.
You got to do your homework.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. You got to do your homework on everything. You got to make sure your blood work's good. You got to make sure your lipids are good. Your enzymes are good on your liver. Everything. You got to do everything, bro. It's a pain in the ass.
Man, so I've been wanting. I've been wanting to ask you this question because all of us are always in relationships, coming out of one, getting into one, stuff like that. So, have steroids themselves affected your relationships, your sex drive, your emotions in relationships?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
The hard answer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, it did. And negatively, right? That's what we're saying. Negatively or positively.
Or positively,
right?
yeah. Because there might be positives. I do not know.
So the whole thing with the, I would say yes. I have to say yes because I was an asshole. I was an asshole.
Right. If you're an asshole, you become more of an asshole.
Becoming more of an asshole.
And if I know anything about you, an asshole.
I'm an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, yes. And not just that. Not just me being an asshole, but yeah, I definitely did. The sex drive went up a lot.
Well, I hear that often that, hey, if you're going to be on steroids, most likely you're going to have a higher sex drive.
A lot higher.
And that means you're going to be looking for fun constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, for sure.
How's that? Is that something that you would like to live with, or maybe you think, hey, like maybe I need to calm down?
Sex drive?
I wish I could calm down, but I mean, it's fine.
I already had a high sex drive before it,
right?
So it just enhanced it at that point.
So ultra drive.
Ultra
You're going
drive.
ultra drive.
I'm going
Ultra
ultra
instinct.
instinct. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, okay. Shit. It works.
I start glowing gray and shit.
What about your emotions? Does that affect you a
So
lot?
I was like I said, I was an asshole, right? And I remember times where if I were to forget to inject or something, or like if I injected too much, I remember there was times where I would just like I said, see a TikTok or something, I'd start tearing up, get that knot in my throat.
That's if you forget.
Either if I forget or if I inject too much.
Too much will make you cry too? So everything will make you cry?
Because look, so whenever your testosterone's going up, whenever all these compounds are growing up, making your testosterone, shoot up.
Yeah.
Your estrogen wants to shoot up with it. So you still need an estrogen blocker.
I was about to say, they got estrogen blockers. That should be easy to find, right?
But the thing is, there was times where it was just like, if you take too much estrogen blockers, you're crashing your estrogen. And at that point, you become a mess. You still need estrogen
So you
to
still
function.
cry.
You still need estrogen to function as a man. You have estrogen.
So it's a tight balance. You're like
You
on a
have to-
tightrope
you
across two
dude,
buildings.
You really have to fine tune what you're doing.
Wow.
Everybody's different.
I did not know
Everybody's
that
different.
about estrogen, because I know women have high estrogen,
Yeah.
low testosterone,
Low testosterone.
and men have high testosterone, low estrogen.
That's right.
But I don't know. It would shoot if you take so much testosterone, your estrogen would try to shoot up too, and then you need something to block it.
Because it needs to. Your levels want to even out.
But if you block it all the way out, you start
You fuck yourself really out of the hormone, like the hormones that
having
you
symptoms that you have too much estrogen, but really you don't have any.
need. Exactly,
What a crazy ride this is,
bro. The last couple of years have been crazy for sure.
What's a myth about steroids you wish people would stop believing? Stop believing, and I could think of a few that you might wish, but I want to hear from your mouth. What do you think?
The main one is that your dick shrinks. Your dick doesn't shrink.
Are you sure?
So, you want to see? You want?
Hey, bro, I'm just asking. I'm just asking the tough questions. That's
I'm
it.
just saying. Look. All I'm saying, your dick don't shrink. Your balls do. And I already have some pretty big balls that it is off cycle.
Okay.
So it's kind of like now they're normals.
Now they're normal size.
Now they're normal size.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. It's just normal size. But
That's
but
what
that's
happens,
not.
though.
But that's not a myth.
No.
Oh yeah.
The dick size is a myth. They
That'll
say,
stay the same.
Your dick stays. If anything, it looks bigger because your balls are smaller.
And you're losing weight.
You're losing weight, yes.
Because on anabolic steroids, you gain muscle and lose weight at the same time, which doesn't really happen, right?
Another thing, not only does it look bigger, but another reason why it would look bigger is because you're getting more blood flow.
You're getting more blood flow, so it does
because
but that is getting bigger.
Your hemoglobins increase, so you get more vascular, and you're getting more blood flow throughout your whole body. That's the reason your blood pressure shoots up while you're on steroids too.
Does it also change stamina? It changes stamina too.
Stamina, for sure.
So, when I say stamina, is not how long you can go. Like stamina wise, but I'm talking about how long you can go
last.
Wanting to keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you say this?
And
without ejaculating, just keep going.
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly. If you're on cycle, yes, absolutely. Because you want it more too.
It's because you want it more, but wouldn't that wanting it more, you might want to ejaculate faster? Because you want it more, you're more horny and shit,
Personally, it's just about to me, it's about the ride.
The ride, okay,
The ride.
shit. And even though after you ejaculate, you want to keep going, no? Like, do you still want to keep going?
Especially when you're on cycle.
Yeah.
Turn your girl into a push cushion. A pin cushion, that's what it is.
A pin
cushion.
Push pin.
Push pin, pin cushion. Dog. Should get tired of your ass.
Would you ever stop?
Steroids?
Yeah.
I mean, I did stop.
I mean, TRT is still. You can still
I don't consider it steroids. I'm okay. Technically, I'm not natty.
You have to. You have to, right? It's not like you're wanting to and you can't. It's just you have to.
It's not even that I have to. It's just I just don't want to do it because.
Well, I'm talking about TRT. Not
oh no! I can't.
You have to take it.
I have to take it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's now a health reason why you're taking it.
Yes. Exactly. Yep.
So, would you try going again, doing more? Is this under what circumstances would you try to do more?
If I wanted to just get that much bigger.
Do you want to get that much bigger, or is it just something that
Honestly,
right now you're okay?
Right now I'm chilling. I'm like I said, I'm chilling, bro. As long as I'm getting back into the groove, honestly, eventually I probably might get back on. I ain't even gonna lie. I might get back on.
It's because once you do something and once you're used to it, like sometimes you think about doing it again.
The thing is, man, it's like the last time I was on, my body just my mind really, it didn't want it. It was giving me negative side effects. Yeah.
And you think that'll keep happening? Like you start feeling now?
Honestly, it put me in a really dark place.
Or might have just been the stuff that you were taking at that time.
That too.
Because like you said like it affects people differently. And since there's so many that maybe the ones that you used to take are now treating you differently.
Different, yeah. And I think that's what happened too. That's definitely what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to go back, you'd have to find another stack.
Probably
a different.
Probably.
Stack?
I was kind of wanting to try something different for sure, but I've pretty much tried everything under the sun.
So, how did you deal with side effects like acne, mood swings?
You just gotta thug it out.
Hair loss.
You just gotta thug it out.
Man.
Do you remember that one time whenever I had gotten upset, like really upset, and I didn't talk to you for a couple of days?
No.
This was years ago.
What did I do?
It was really stupid shit. It was like
I did stupid shit?
No. I got mad over the stupidest reason. But then again, like
I really want to know what I did now. Was it that bad?
I forgot.
You forgot? You're lying.
All I know is that I was mad at you. I was mad at you for a reason. But I was on some shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got really upset.
Can you tell me about when this was? Like, were we still hanging out?
2021.
21.
It was around my birthday whenever we had that little shindig at your place.
And you got mad at me. Man,
it was
for
like
the life of me, I can't think of reason you get mad at me because I'm such a good guy, man.
Fuck you. No, you're not.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a bad guy then.
He's the worst. Yeah. So, like I said, it just has those negative side effects. It's just,
what about hair loss?
you gotta thug it out.
That's it. Like,
you gotta
just
remember.
If you're doing what you're doing to get the benefits of what you're doing, you have to thug out.
Do you remember when I went bald?
I remember when you cut your hair off.
I went bald. I literally shaved my head.
Right, and that was but
actually,
was it because of
one
that?
One time was right before I met you. And then another time was after I had met you.
I remember that because the one after you met me, I remember because you had a shaved head, but you had a beard. That's how you were rolling, weren't you?
I didn't have a beard.
You didn't have a beard?
I didn't have a beard.
So you look like Mr. Potato Head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I didn't
that.
have a beard. I had a goatee. I had the goatee, but I didn't have a beard.
Kind of like me? Like
yeah.
I have right now?
Like you right now. But it wasn't as thick. Because my shit wasn't thick until...
My shit only gets thick here.
Yeah. This didn't start growing out until a couple of years ago.
Shit.
Yeah.
What would you tell a 20-year-old thinking about jumping on gear?
Don't do it. Wait
Don't
until
do it.
if you're ever gonna think about it, if you're ever even contemplating, wait until you've had at least 15 to 20 years of lifting experience and commitment and discipline. Because if you don't have any of that, you're not going to get anywhere. If you don't have the discipline to stay in the gym, stay eating right, stay eating the way you're supposed to, and if you don't have a specific goal in mind, don't do it.
So you think you started too soon?
I started way too soon. My body was not where it wasn't matured to where it was supposed to be.
How long were you working out before you started getting on it?
Probably about 3 or 4 years.
And you think it should be a lot longer than that?
A lot longer. At least 15, 20 years. I don't think anybody should start gear till their late 30s.
Late 30s. Okay.
Everybody, you're your own person. Do what you want. But that's just my advice.
So do you think it's cheating?
No. How's it cheating?
You're gaining something from outside sources while everybody else that is doing it I don't want to say the right way. I don't want to say the right way.
Think of using the
hard way.
Chat GPT.
Right.
That's the way I see it.
I mean, yeah. So you're saying it's just a tool.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
That's all it is.
That
you still have to put in the work.
It has side effects, but it's a tool.
You still have to put in the work.
So you don't think it's cheating at all because it's a tool, so it's not gonna.
If anything, you have to work more on
and it's not like you're doing, pro anything, right? Any athlete kind of stuff where
if anything, you have to work twice as hard
to keep it up.
Because you're recovering so fast. You have to eat more. You have to be on top of your training. If you're on gear, you have to do double the work.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But also, you're gonna want to as well, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to see those gains.
You have that,
like you have that
you.
motivation.
You got that dog in you.
And that test.
That's what I'm saying.
All in you. You're not gonna want to.
That's
yeah.
it.
You're not gonna want to stop. Have you ever lied about being on gear?
Nope.
At all?
Never.
Not to anyone?
I've always been transparent.
Not to maybe sometime a doctor or...
Okay, that's different. Yeah. Yeah, to a doctor, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to.
To a doctor, yeah.
Yeah, that's different. That's different, but yeah.
So do you think you've ever been... that you are addicted to steroids or the attention, the results it gives you?
The results.
I'm pretty sure the attention too, right? I mean, it must feel good.
I don't really care for the attention, if I'm being honest.
No? Mm-mm. It's more of the results thing, seeing yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, because like I don't do what I do. I didn't do what I did for other people. I was doing it for me,
Right. You're doing it for yourself.
That's really
well, you had a goal in mind, right?
I had a goal in mind, and that goal, it was one of those things where I wanted to look so freaky and so nasty. I didn't care. I didn't care what other people thought what I looked like. Nah, bro, I wanted to look freaky.
There are people that actually don't like that, right? That don't like people that get that Mr. Olympias and stuff like that.
A lot of normal people. Right. A lot of normal people.
And but you liked that you were doing it for you. You were trying to get somewhere. You had a purpose.
Yeah, that was for me.
Right. But the results is what you were. That's what you were seeing.
That was on me.
Have you ever worried about long-term damage, or is just rolling the dice, man?
I didn't realize how much damage it would actually cause.
You didn't,
especially the orals. The orals are what fucked me up the most. So D-ball made my liver enzymes shoot up like crazy. But
which means what? What does it do whenever that happens?
It's putting your liver into overdrive.
So it's working 2-3 times as hard.
So then I started taking some stuff to take care of my liver, vitamins,
Why is it doing that though?
because of the orals.
Yeah, but is
because
it trying
has
to clean out?
Well, the thing is those steroids go through your liver a couple of times. It's so hard on your liver that like that's what it caused the liver enzymes to start shooting up. It's causing it to go into overdrive because it's hard to break down those compounds. But it's the same thing with injectables too.
So it just goes and goes. It just keeps keeps going.
Realistically, I don't really know if it keeps going through the liver,
Or
but
once it
I
goes
know
through,
it's
it just
hard.
takes a long time.
It's hard to break it
It's hard
down.
on it.
It's
So it
hard on the
works
liver.
overtime.
It's like drinking too much, drinking dark liquor.
And you were just gonna say injectables does the same thing.
Injectables and yeah, both.
If it does the same thing, does it do it less or something like that?
I don't think. Okay, so there's certain compounds. Certain compounds will cause different damage, more or less damage. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's
Of course,
that's all
different
it is.
things do different damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe steroids have affected your mental health?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're crazy now. You're
Yeah.
going local.
A little bit, just
Yeah.
a little bit, just a little bit. I noticed on certain compounds I'd have more anxiety, or I would overthink a lot.
When would that anxiety hit though?
Public, when I'm in public,
When you're around other people?
shit like that, and it's even like been to where even off cycle,
Right.
where I just feel that anxiety. Now I had anxiety in the past, but I think it amplified it.
And what makes you? What do you think about when you get that anxiety? Because you must be thinking about something like, are these people looking at me, or I'm not good enough to be around here? Like, what
I want
is
to say
it?
it's paranoia.
Paranoia.
I think it's kind of like paranoia. Like you said, people looking at me, or there might be somebody that I don't want to run into. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. And there's a lot of people we don't want to.
There's a lot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get you. Are you still feeling that stuff?
I wasn't before. But then like, it's like, I guess recently it just kind of changed, you know? I started feeling it a little bit more.
Do you think it's because of the TRT?
No. I think it's a different reason, but, overall I'm thugging it out. I think I can get through it. It ain't nothing I ain't never worked out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're not alone, man. You got people to help you.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, not you. Fuck you, actually. Fuck you, actually.
Nah, I'm here for you, brother. What's your take on body dysmorphia in fitness and steroid culture?
Break that, break that question down and the way you mean it.
There's a lot in that, right? So body dysmorphia is when someone, doesn't feel right in their body, right?
Okay.
So I'm guessing at this point they don't like their body, they hate it, they start taking steroids.
I mean, I don't think that's the reason why you should take steroids.
But a lot of people do. And you might not think it's a good reason, but it definitely is a reason.
Look, you're your own person. You do what you want to do if you're a grown up, right? If you're grown, do what you want to do. I don't give a fuck. You don't matter to me, right?
What?
I mean, what you grown ass person. Look.
Matter to you.
Look.
No, I get
as
that
far
part.
as like the thing is like my opinion has nothing, no effect to you. You know what I mean? Like to let's say the audience, right? Maybe my opinion does have an effect to you, but I'm talking about our audience. If you're a grown ass person and you want to do that, by all means, do it.
They can.
That's fine. If it's because of your body dysmorphia, whatever your reason being, all I'm saying is I wouldn't. If I could rewind the clock, I wouldn't do it until I'm at least 30, 35.
There's also people though on YouTube selling the this life, the natty life, when other people are trying to get to that point. But if they're on steroids without saying anything, fake natties, it's like, how are these people ever going to get there? And since they're never going to get there to that level, they're going to start feeling some type of way, right?
Okay, so there's people that are fake natties, yes. But I just think that social media has a lot to do with body dysmorphia.
It does.
Because, dude, come on. Like, yes. Posting on your Instagram or Facebook or whatever on your story, like
those are all lies,
bro.
Man.
Like, it's get the lighting just right, then you're gonna look big as fuck. See that person in
just
person,
with lighting, right?
Just with lighting.
And other people just don't know that just lighting can make you look bigger.
But then you got the people that are big, right?
Right.
You can't fake that. I've seen some big motherfuckers in person, and it's one of those things where you're just like, damn, let me get like you, big dog. I'm trying to get like you, big dog.
Right. Now, if those people are saying fake, that they're natural when they're not,
obviously, when they're not natural.
Well, sometimes you can't really tell, right? Like they're in that in between that where you kind of think so, but you don't know.
There's this dude named Togi on YouTube.
Right.
He looks natural. That physique is easily attainable naturally.
Right.
But he's blasting all types of steroids.
Oh, is he?
Dude, motherfucker don't even work out. Like, that dude pisses me off so bad.
He just takes it. Oh, so what is it that pisses you off? Does he say he's natural?
No. It doesn't even say. He does the steroids on camera.
Okay. Oh,
he just
I did not know this.
Bro, it's just like,
what pisses you off about that?
Because he's bringing such a bad name to the bodybuilding community.
Is he?
Bro,
but he doesn't work out.
He used to work out, right?
Right.
And then he's doing like collabs with like bigger like bodybuilders and YouTubers that actually do work out.
So he's in the scene.
He's in the scene, yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, he's bringing such a bad name because he's fucking abusing drugs, not just steroids. He's doing cocaine, Adderall, drinking, gambling, doing all this other shit. Bro, okay, yes, I get it. You're a grown-ass person. Do what you want, but don't bring a bad name to the community. Like, if you're going to blast steroids like that, then look like you're going to blast steroids.
Yeah.
Look like you blast steroids.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
So you think he should start lifting?
I think he needs to get his shit together.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I don't know the guy, so I'm gonna take.
Personally, I don't know him, but
I mean, it's the content you put out there, right?
On YouTube, yeah, dude, come on.
The content that a lot of people see as well. Have you ever had a rage moment that you think was gear related? Straight up, you thought it was like, I wouldn't have done this unless I was on gear.
No.
So you think all you've done?
Yeah, probably.
All you've done was
right, right.
It's all from my head.
No, yeah, for sure. I've done a few things here and there. Road rage being number one.
Road rage is a big thing when you're not. So whenever you are. And I imagine you're just running people off roads.
You've heard me on the phone. Whenever,
You get pretty crazy, man. You start fucking shouting out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck did I do to you, man? I just started talking to you.
Yeah, I'd put road rage just number one up there.
Yeah, I can see that a lot, man.
Yeah.
I can see that happening constantly.
I've probably thrown some shit, maybe pulled over, tried getting somebody else to pull over just to make a ruckus.
You tried to like cut someone off, make them stop?
Fucking pull over type shit, like start throwing shit at them, at their car, and just like get the fuck out. Like, let's do this shit right now. But then they just like take off or whatever.
Yeah, man. Nobody really wants to be in those situations. They're not worth it, I guess. I mean, I know they're not worth it. It's not worth being in that situation.
It's definitely a lot of things that I've done is just things that I've looked back on, and I don't want to be that person anymore either. I don't want to be the person causing a camaraderie,
Right.
You
want to chill.
I want to chill.
Take it easy.
I don't Bro, I at this point I figured out I'm better off being non-confrontational. If I can avoid confrontation, I'm gonna. That's it, plain and simple.
Yeah. I think that would be best, man. Just
Bro,
avoid all that
especially
drama.
nowadays, bro. You don't know what people got. Like, bro,
So,
like
some
imagine
people are
somebody.
just crazier than the next, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine somebody pulls a gun on you because you cut them off. And I've heard of shit like that happening before.
It's your last day. It might be your last day, and all because you cut them off, or they didn't put a signal on, or something. You know.
Yep.
Would you let your future kids use steroids if they asked you for the advice?
I think once they pass a certain age, I have no say, right? But I do have advice. That's
So if they would take it, you would try to support them, not because
I'm not. Gonna,
you're saying yes or no, because they're gonna do it regardless.
Then I'm gonna be a hypocrite. Why am I saying no? You can't take it. You shouldn't take it. I would say I would advise them from taking it, but I'm not gonna tell them you can't take it.
Right. Because and at that age, at a young age, you're not really gonna stop anyone from doing anything.
Exactly.
They're still just gonna do it. So at that point, you would support it. So your kid can do it safely.
I would try to give them the blueprint to do it safely, so that way they're not putting themselves at risk,
in danger, or having rage fits. And I can walk them through. Look, if you're feeling this way, then you need to do this, or if you're doing this, then you need to do this. You know what I mean? Right. And that's just because they're going to do it regardless. You just want to keep them safe.
I want to be able to give them the blueprint. But the first things first, I want to advise them from it. I don't want them. Obviously, I'm not going to want them to do it.
You can try to pull them away, of course.
Especially if they want to do a show, if they want to get into bodybuilding, stuff like that, and they want to take that road, I'm going to tell them all the pros and cons. Probably more cons than pros, really.
I would say a lot more.
A lot more cons.
It's messing up everything else in your body but your muscles.
Yep. And then eventually...
Sometimes even your muscles, right? Because
you're going to deflate.
Your tendons can rip, and then now you're...
Eventually you're going to get old. Eventually you're not going to be lifting anymore. Eventually you're going to look like shit. So
right.
That's that.
Well... I mean, I think that's good, man. If you can't stop it, might as well support it in the most healthiest way, however they can do it.
And try to give them the guidance for it.
Right.
Really, really, yeah.
Would you be the same person without steroids?
No. Nope.
No.
Not at all.
How so? How do you think you would have changed?
Everything, it was a learning experience, bro. It was a learning experience. It was like...
Who were you before steroids?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think I was kind of a bitch before.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it turned me into this, like, person that's not a bitch, but I'm saying it's like, I think I was more like shut off. I was more, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I just felt like
you're pretty shut off right now. Or not now, but you're a shut off kind of person.
I have my reasons, right? But the thing is, like, I just don't like people coming up to me. I don't like conversations, and like I don't like talking. You already know I don't like talking as it is.
You don't like talking to new people. I've seen that a lot.
Especially new people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of like, yeah, man. And then whatever you got to say to get the conversation over with, and then you kind of go to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
But also too, I just have this feeling that like sometimes people just don't like to talk to me sometimes because of my appearance. Like sometimes.
What about your appearance?
Just like people say I have a RBF, resting bitch face, or like I just look like I'm not easy to talk to. But once you get to talk to me, am I not easy to talk to?
talk too much, to be honest.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes you talk too much.
That's what I thought. And it's like one of those things whenever you started getting talk to me and stuff like that.
You just won't.
I just won't shut up.
Yeah, you won't.
Yeah.
You won't. No, but I like that, man, because I'd rather listen than talk.
Yeah, and so that's what I mean by that is that like I just feel like people don't think I'm approachable and able to talk to.
Back then, what was it that was different before all that?
Not only was I,
did you feel like you were on another level to where like you didn't think you were good enough to talk to people?
Yeah, for sure.
It
was a part of that body dysmorphia and that type shit. I was on that body dysmorphia shit. And I still am, don't get me wrong. Like I still feel the body dysmorphia. But like back then, body dysmorphia was like my enemy. It was the worst enemy. And I just had that anxiety where I felt like I know I couldn't talk to people.
So you just didn't. Were you like a little crybaby about it? Like
Nah.
You were just like, hey, I don't think I'm good enough.
Yeah. And it really, really just like it would fuck with my self-esteem a lot.
And then you started blasting.
It boosted my self-esteem a lot.
And you started talking to people more.
Started talking, bro. How do you think I got sales like that? How do you think I was number one in the company? Like it was one of those things.
You felt good about yourself, and it made you feel better to the point where like you can function. You can function like a human.
You look good. You feel good. You feel good. You play good.
Put that on a shirt.
Got to. This is my shirt.
All right. I want you to be honest about this next one.
Okay. What's up?
Have you ever cried while watching a protein commercial on cycle? Have you ever shed a tear?
Not on a protein commercial.
Not on
a protein commercial.
Just on those dogs, right?
Just the dogs. But there is one commercial that I love where he's like, "Hey man, you want some protein?" Like, "Yeah, I got some protein. I want protein too." You ever seen that one?
No, I haven't seen it. No.
I love protein.
That made you cry?
Protein. No, I'm just saying like that's one of my favorite commercials.
I'm gonna believe it made you cry.
I think it's a Taco Bell commercial actually.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. Was it for their protein bowls?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Protein. Yeah, protein.
What's the dumbest bro science advice you followed while on gear?
Take more.
What?
Take more.
Take more?
More is better.
More gear?
More is better. But like I said, I kind of had a blueprint from just doing my own research. So whenever I did do more, it had those negative side effects too.
So there's something that you said to me. You said less is better.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Mm-hmm.
How is that so? How do you think it's
okay? Me being on the TRT right now,
right.
let's say I optimize my eating habits.
Okay.
Eat more protein. Work out 6 days a week. Rest 1. And I'm just on, like I said, just the TRT. In my opinion, I think I would optimize the dosage I'm at now than I would at a gram. You know what I mean? At blasting, cause
so it's better. It's more the eating habits and the working out habits.
It's getting everything else in play, because once you start taking a lot more, your body's gonna adjust to a lot more.
And that's bad. That's the thing that you don't.
So then, whenever you come off, your body's used to all of this,
and now it's crashing.
But that's how you get regardless, less is more. In anything you do, less is more.
So start with a little bit, and if a little bit is working, keep it up. Don't change what's not broken.
Fix it.
Right. I think that's smart, man. Have you ever scared yourself in the mirror mid-cycle? Just give a... No?
Nah, I don't think so.
No,
I don't
that's
think
not
so.
a thing.
Nah, I typically just start flexing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The arm thing.
The forearm.
That's what I know most about you doing at the gym.
Is the
Like,
forearm?
Yeah, just going in. Try to flex it, man. Which side effect would you rather deal with forever? Back knee or shrinkage?
Shrinkage.
Shrinkage.
Wait, we're talking about balls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shrinkage for sure.
Why is that?
That's what I'm already dealing with.
It doesn't even matter.
I
Like,
don't have back acne.
you don't have back knee, so you got lucky.
Well,
right?
I mean, I'll have my typical like pimple here and there, but not the way people describe back knee. Because back
It's
knee
not that bad.
You know what I mean?
I haven't seen how bad it gets. Does it get
gets
pretty bad?
Bad, bro. I've seen people online where it's just their whole back is scarred up. And
why,
I don't get like that.
Why do you get those? Like, what happens?
Because of the oil in your skin. The oil. You get oily when you're on gear.
Oh, do you? And that messes up your skin pretty bad.
And then it's all hormonal, bro. Like once you start getting all those hormones in your body, and like I said, everybody reacts differently.
Right.
I don't get back knee. Mine,
and you're already dealing with the shrinkage, so
which everybody's gonna deal with.
Right.
Everybody's gonna deal with, because what happens is your natural testosterone production gets shut off. So they shrink a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, mine
Maybe a lot.
Mine literally look normal now.
Really?
Yeah, used to have some big old balls.
Would you trade all your gains to not sweat through your shirts daily?
Nah.
Those gains, you want those gains. Sweating through your shirts.
I don't
matter,
mind.
huh?
Yeah, that I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Have you ever used your muscles to get out of a speeding ticket?
Shit, if it was that easy. If it was that easy.
Hey, you never know, man.
I've never know. First off, I've never had a speeding ticket.
It could have worked 1 out of 10 times, man. You never know.
I've never had a speeding ticket, so I don't know. Do you want to push pause?
Well, shit.
Brief interruption.
Camera went out.
Camera went out.
Well, it didn't go out. Memory card
got full. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we got a lot of that. I got a lot of information, so I know a lot of other people got a lot of information.
It's a lot of information.
And a lot of stuff you got to know. But that's it.
That is episode 3 of Booger Sugar and Whiskey.
Next time, don't know what's going to happen.
But it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We do apologize for the brief delay in this episode. It
wasn't that brief, so we do apologize for that. Yeah.
It was a small delay. But whenever you view this episode, it's, I know it's going to be 3 weeks, almost a month since we've last posted.
Almost a month. Yeah.
Almost a month.
Maybe a month.
So, yeah, we do apologize. And we do appreciate everybody for tuning in, supporting, clicking the like button, the bell, and subscribe button.
Please subscribe.
Comment. Give us your opinions. Let's discuss some things.
Steroids is so controversial, man.
Extremely controversial.
We want to know what you think about it.
Let's see what y'all think about it. We want y'all's opinion. We want to know what y'all think about it.
And then Greg here is going to answer everything because he has a problem with answering.
I'm not going to answer it. He's going to answer it.
Okay.
We'll probably split the answers 50-50.
We won't. I'm probably going to answer.
He's probably going to answer it. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace out.
That is episode 3.
Episode 3, yeah. Peace out.